So, not too long ago, ran across the trailer for 3022, and it looked to be a nice sci-fi horror, which I do have a soft spot for. A little bit on maybe the cerebral level, though, as they seem to be, at least from the trailer, dealing with the idea of being the last, basically, members of humanity. So, finally got a chance to check it out. Let's dive in. I gotta let everybody know up front, it's gonna be a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Alright, you're here. So, make sure we're on the same page. Basically, American astronauts take over a 10-year shift on a space station that is sort of a waylay between here and a colony on Europa. And about 5 years into the mission, the Earth blows up, and hilarity ensues. Alright, we start out with likes, and right off the top of the bat, I really like the fact that they decided, and I think accurately sort of predicted the issues, the psychological issues that humans have in space, or lack of space. That is to say, that, and we're struggling with this now. We're going to continue to be struggling with it for quite some time, but fundamentally, human beings are not designed to be in space, free floating, so to speak. Now, the biggest issue is gravity. This smartly, again, another thing I liked, has the rotating disc, so it's got its artificial gravity. But we are social animals, and locking 4 people up in a tin can for a decade is not a good idea. Throw into the mix that they have to face the inconceivable idea that they're the last 4 human beings in the entire universe, and you've got problems. And this film showed it very, very, very well. I particularly enjoyed the doctor's sort of decline and break. Ostensibly being, they always like to say that, the doctors are like the smartest people in the crew. So he understood the magnitude of what had happened faster than the others. But then by the same time, they really did a great job with the archetypes. The captain was very stoic, which captain should be, was resolute, even in the realization that he was going to be one of the last humans in the entire universe. So I thought they did a really, really good job with that, and a really, really good job of showing how really, truly horrific that idea would be to anyone, in particular the 3 people that really had each a different way that it affected them. So I really enjoyed the fact that they actually dug into that a little bit, in fact quite a lot, instead of just, glossing it over and going explosion, explosion, explosion. Alright, now on the dislikes front, number 1 is completely pet peeve for me. Not pet peeve, preference for me. So, when you have something this dark, to me, you gotta end it on a sour note, man, and this didn't. Basically, Omar Epps, the lead captain there, he gets separated from his whatever she was, never really made that kind of clear, and spends an inordinate amount of time. It appears to be like 3 or 4 years, but they never really get into that explanation very well, which was kind of another dislike. Finds her, and she's alive and smiling, and she smiles at him, yeah, happy ending. No, man, she is an icicle. I mean, that's all there is to that one. But, so, the other thing I did not like was they decided to do this little time jump thing throughout the film, showing, so first of all, anytime you do that, and they did it on purpose, they said, oh look, here's the screen showing everybody's dead except for him. It's like, okay, well great, so now I know people are going to die. I have the intrigue of how did they die, but it really takes away from the movie-going experience that I don't know, that I do know who's going to die. Duh, keep it a mystery. And then, the title, 3022, is not a year, which I thought it was. It's the number of days, which work it out is, 8 years or so. yet most of it takes place 5 years. So there's a 3-year block where we presume, you know, that he just fixed up the shuttle and you know, it's a mess because they did a whole subplot with rationing and how much supplies and food they have for 2 people, you know, and they had enough for an 18-month trip. And so I guess you're supposed to do the math and say, oh, okay, well, if it's only one person, then boom, that's, you know, 3 years. There's our simple solution, except they broke the thing in half. So, or half the provisions on one because the chick survived 3 years as well. It really, really fell apart towards the end, and I really did not like that at all. All right, it is Pinhead time, and whereas this was definitely a more cerebral horror, so we're not going to get the blood and the guts and all that good stuff, I happen to enjoy those types of movies still. Ending, man, stuck the landing. So, we're going to break this down real easy, and it's going to be 2.5 pinheads. All right, what did you guys think? Please let me know in the comments section below. Let's talk about existential horror. Yes! Not something that's covered a lot. Should be more. I get why it's not. Not real big box office returns on profound thoughts and implications. But something I actually do enjoy. And if you do as well, let's talk about it.